Hello everyone. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, whatever time of day it is for you, whatever you're doing. I hope you are having an amazing day, manifesting some amazing things, basking in abundance. Welcome to my super spontaneous live. I usually, when I do lives, have a plan. Well, I have a plan, but usually I have notes and it's all kind of formulated what I'm going to talk about. Today, it's formulated in my mind. I literally just got this idea and I couldn't not talk about this today. So I'm just gonna get right into it. Welcome everyone. So we live in a law of attraction based universe, and odds are when you get into law of attraction at one point or another, you may have the tendency to accidentally bypass what you are feeling. And this is super, super normal, and I know I went through it, and so I wanted to talk about it today because I had the inspiration, I couldn't fight it, so welcome to flow state, I'm just gonna go for it. So spiritual bypassing is when you use a spiritual thought to bypass your actual feelings and your actual emotions. And this is very common, or it's a trap that we can kind of fall into when it comes to the law of attraction. Hi Val, welcome. I'm so glad to see that you're watching this. And it's because we can create our reality, and because we're all understanding that we are creating our reality, when we feel bad, we just think it is better to just stop thinking about that thing and start thinking about something else. And that's not necessarily a bad thing. You know, when you catch yourself just like nitpicking at all these really bad things happening, maybe it's good to just, shift your thoughts. But when it comes to issues that continuously come up and you ignore them, they're going to grow because you are not getting to the root of what is actually happening. You're not getting to the root of your actual problem, and because of this, subconsciously you are still running that same program, and it is going to continue to come up for you. Again, this is a very normal and common thing that I think a lot of people fall into. Like I said, I did, and so I wanted to talk about it today. Good morning, Marco. Good morning, Daksha. Hello. Hope you guys are doing well. So in order to get past these same limits that continue to come up, and like I said, this is going to be the things that come up over and over again. Let's say you keep attracting the same kind of guy or girl. You continue to have the same work experience. Maybe you have the same kind of boss, or maybe you keep having the same problems in your family come up, but with different people. And your instinct might be, when it comes to this, to just ignore it and to just think of something that feels really good. And that's not bad. But again, you want to get to the root of what is actually going on. So what do? What I do is I am very big on getting to the root of the belief. Because a lot of these things are coming up because we have deeply, deeply rooted beliefs that we may not even be aware of. And that's totally fine. We're gonna work through it, and you're gonna work through it. Everyone's gonna work through it. We're all a work in progress, which is great. So what you want to do is what I do. Write down what you're going through. Whether it is I keep attracting this kind of person, or I keep getting into this kind of job scenario, or this problem keeps coming up for me. And then write down how you feel about it. You could be angry, you could be mad, you could be pissed off, you could be sad, you could feel worthless, but you want to get to the very core feeling of what is coming up. So for me, a very big one that would come up a lot in every aspect of my life, not just one, but in many of them, with almost every relationship I had, was the feeling of being unworthy. This was a very deeply rooted belief that I had from childhood, whatever, not gonna judge it, but it kept coming up. And it wasn't until I faced it and I looked at it and I thought, okay, so I have this belief that I'm not worthy. Do I actually think that that is true? And it is a battle at first because you're going to, you know, you have to come to the fact with, you know, I don't feel worthy, and it feels bad, and it feels like you just want to hide, and it feels constricted. It feels very constricted, and that's how you know it is something that your higher self knows not to be true. So once you find this deep-rooted belief, once you find this core feeling that you need to work through, you need to start to find evidence to prove it wrong, to prove that it's not true. So what I did with mine, and this worthiness one I have talked about before, and it is a very common one, so I figured it was a good one to talk about. So what you want to do is prove it wrong. How are you worthy? How is the universe showing you that you're worthy? And if you can't come up with anything, ask the universe to start showing you. I ask the universe all the time to show me that I'm magic, and to show me that I'm, you know, capable of anything, and to show me the people that I'm aligned with and stuff like that. I do this every morning. And when you ask, it's given. So ask for reasons that you're worthy, and start looking for them, and start finding them, and start writing them down, and start reminding yourself of why this core belief, this deeply rooted belief, is not actually true. For some people, a deeply rooted belief around money, very common thing that people are trying to manifest, is money does not come to me easily. That's not a belief anyone is going to attract money with. And it's a belief that many, many people are running. And that's, like I said, normal, no judgment. It's totally fine. Once you realize it, you can work through it, and you can start moving through it, and you can start shifting it. Once you get to this thought, you gain your power back. You get that power back. It's that simple. And who doesn't want that? Because when you start walking through your life with more power and more purpose and feeling more in control, the universe will deliver all of those beautiful reminders that is exactly what you are. So yeah, don't just ignore what's happening and go for the positive. You gotta get to the belief. You have to get to the root, or it is not going to disappear. I wish it would, just bye. But it's in doing that inner work that you start to see the things in your reality change. Like, my entire life changed when I started to do this, because I was very at the whim of life hates me and nothing good ever happens to me. And those were, you know, thought patterns that I was operating at, that I had to work through, that I had to move through. And the second that I started to work through them, and the second that I started to own my own power over the things happening in my life, instead of letting the things happening in my life have power over me, that's when stuff started to change. And everybody has the capability of doing this. So I want to see if, I think there's a question. Daksha says, okay, so recently I've met a professional artist, 3 of them actually, which is awesome, which is a good sign from the universe. Yes, that's a great sign from the universe. Take those things that continuously come up also, the good things that continuously come up, as good signs from the universe. See if any doubt comes up when these signs come up, because sometimes we'll get those signs over and over and over again that, oh, it's time to move, or oh, it's time to get a new job, or oh, it's time to start dating again. And we ignore it because we have those, you know, limiting beliefs that we're operating at, and we ignore the signs. So thank you for that comment, because I guess I needed to touch upon that. Thank you for that inspiration. I really appreciate it. So let's see. Hi, Natasha. She says, wow, thank you for your inspiration. You're welcome. Thank you for watching. First time I've seen you, and I came across it by accident, just what I needed to hear. Lovely. I love it. Fantastic. I love hearing this stuff. So yeah, I think that's all I really have for you guys. It was, like I said, a super spontaneous, quick live, and I just wanted to make sure that I put it out there because it's come online big for me lately, even though it's something I've been working through. But don't just ignore the problem, because you can get past it. And your outer reality is going to be a reflection of your inner landscape. When you change the inner landscape, the outer landscape changes. Change the inside first, and the outside is just going to reflect that back, which is awesome. which means that you have all the power that you need. So I just wanted to remind you guys of that. And if you guys have any questions, please let me know. I love talking to you guys. And I think you guys also give me the best video topics. You guys are all the best. Kimberly, Marco, everyone. Do you have an actual suggestion for how to locate the actual thought pattern that's causing the issue? For instance, I'm an artist and a writer, and I love creating, but when I do have the time to create, I don't have the inspiration. But when I'm forced to work on stuff, I'm totally inspired. Wow, that's really interesting. Because for me, it's like, I guess that makes sense. So, I mean, for that, I would say, Kimberly, maybe maybe there's a thought pattern there about creating for yourself. Maybe you don't feel like you are, and this is just, I don't personally know you. This is the only information I'm going off of, but check to see if maybe you feel like you're better at serving other people and not so much at serving yourself. And see if getting into, your own flow state for yourself, by yourself, doing things that, I would say try doing things that you love for yourself and that you like to do for yourself. Do that for a few hours and then see if creating for yourself is better. But you want to see if maybe the idea of creating for yourself seems selfish to you. Hopefully that makes sense, and I would love to hear your input on that if you're still watching. You guys are amazing, and Jackie, I'm sorry to hear that you're struggling with doubts and unworthiness for the past few days. With everything that's been happening, with all the shifts, with all the energetic downloads, with the eclipses, with the Mercury retrograde, there is a lot happening and there's a lot of doubts coming up for people. But when these doubts come up, it's important to face them and important to say, I am more powerful than this thought. And the reason that they come up is because they've been, bubbling inside of us. And it feels bad to think about these doubts and to think about these fears, because that bad feeling is just an indication from your emotional guidance system that your higher self in the universe does not believe this thought to be true. And it's that simple. And now you have to find reasons why that's not true, why you shouldn't doubt yourself, why you're actually an epic creator. So hopefully this resonates. Hopefully you guys can get to creating and not spiritually bypassing and not bypassing your problems, because it feels a lot better to be an open vessel full of abundance instead of a half open vessel with a bunch of crap that you're trying to bury down. So yeah, I love you guys, and I'm really excited that I got to do this spontaneous live. Again, give me video recommendations to record or talk about if you have any, because y'all give me the best ideas. And I hope you all have an amazing day and do some amazing things and manifest some abundance. I love you guys. Love and light.